Cricket may be the gentleman's game, but it's seen its fair share of scandal. Today, we uncover the biggest controversies that shook the sport to its core.
Hansie Cronje, the match-fixing scandal, 2000.
In April 2000, South African cricket woke to a nightmare. Hansie Cronje, beloved captain and the symbol of South Africa's resurgence, was accused of fixing matches. At a press conference, Cronje confessed.
Words cannot begin to describe the shame, humiliation, and pain which I feel in the knowledge that I have inflicted this on others.
Match fixing wasn't new, but the scale of Cronje's admissions was unprecedented. Indian bookmakers had paid Cronje to throw or manipulate at least 5 matches over 2 years for nearly $100,000 in cash, gifts, and, infamously, a leather jacket. Cronje's career ended instantly, and his confession was a collective crisis of faith for fans everywhere. In South Africa, repercussions were immediate. The government criminalized betting fraud. Cricket's anti-corruption protocols kicked in. Players learned to recognize and report shady behavior. The ICC set up an anti-corruption unit, though many thought it weak compared to billion-dollar syndicates. For many, Cronje's confession was only the tip of the iceberg. Others were implicated, some exonerated, some quietly retired. But the saga forever changed cricket's relationship with money. Sports betting brands became synonymous with the sport. Now, betting empires, not insurance companies or governments, dominate sponsorships. For anti-corruption watchdogs, new challenges emerged. Betting was now out in the open, and match fixing could happen at every level. As South Africa's head of anti-corruption put it, it is at a professional level, certainly at a club level where they don't get compensated, where they don't share in profits. The Cronje scandal was a wake-up call for everyone involved in cricket. Even 25 years later, it's a lesson on greed, reputation, and cricket's struggle to protect its integrity as money and technology reshape the game.
Mike Denness versus India, referee controversy, 2001. If 2000 was about greed, 2001 was about pride. India, in the throes of cricket mania, was stunned when match referee Mike Denness fined and suspended 6 Indian players, including Sachin Tendulkar, for ball-tampering and excessive appealing during a test against South Africa. The reaction in India was explosive. Politicians denounced Denness, fans marched in the streets, newspapers ran scathing editorials. BCCI declared the next test unofficial, rejecting ICC's authority. Cricket, for the first time in decades, was at the intersection of nationalism and international bureaucracy. Was Denness fair? Some evidence suggests yes, but the lack of transparency and poor communication made things worse. The incident underscored the need for impartial, accountable officiating. The ICC reviewed procedures, introduced more diverse referees, and improved appeals mechanisms. For millions, the affair was about sovereignty. Could an English official judge Indian heroes on Indian soil? Cricket became political, and decisions faced intense public scrutiny. Social media, barely beginning, shaped debate with memes and message boards. The legacy? Officials now face intense scrutiny, and players are coached in both technique and public relations. For Indian fans, Denness will always be a symbol of the era when cricket became a stage for national pride as much as sport. Greg Chappell's underarm delivery, 1981. Cricket is full of quirky moments, but few changed the game like what happened at the Melbourne Cricket Ground in 1981. Australia needed a win. With 6 runs needed off the final ball, Captain Greg Chappell ordered his brother Trevor to bowl underarm. The batsman, Brian McKechnie, was stunned. Commentary teams erupted. "This is disgraceful." Even the prime ministers of both nations weighed in, with New Zealand's Robert Muldoon calling it the most cowardly act I have ever seen on the sporting field. Underarm bowling was technically legal, but utterly against the spirit of the game. Australia won, but lost enormous respect. Laws changed immediately. Underarm deliveries were banned. Chappell later cited tactical desperation, but the backlash made clear, cricket is more than rules. It's an agreement of honor. The incident became a textbook case for every spirit of cricket debate, reminding everyone that sometimes
exploiting a loophole can undo years of tradition. Today, it's remembered as the moment that solidified cricket's moral compass, proof that some wins come at too high a cost.
Michael Atherton, dirt in pocket. Ball tampering, 1995. The summer of 1995 was supposed to be about Michael Atherton's gritty captaincy. Instead, cameras caught Atherton rubbing dirt from his pocket onto the ball during a test against South Africa. Ball tampering. Atherton faced the press. There was no intent to cheat. But British tabloids launched a relentless pursuit, dissecting footage and quoting experts. Atherton was fined, not banned. Debate raged. Was it cheating, ignorance, or bad luck? It was a turning point in how the sport was policed by media and fans. Cameras now saw everything, and slow-motion replays left nothing hidden. Players learned that every move could be interpreted as foul play. Since then, ball tampering has remained an issue, from the infamous Sandpapergate scandal with Australia in 2018 to countless minor cases. The Atherton incident remains a lesson. Cricket's rules are enforced by umpires, and the ever-watchful eye of the public and the press.
Monkeygate. Andrew Symonds and Harbhajan Singh, 2008. Few controversies have been as incendiary as Monkeygate. The racism row between Australia's Andrew Symonds and India's Harbhajan Singh during the 2008 Sydney Test. The match, already tense, exploded when Symonds accused Harbhajan of racist abuse. Hearings and appeals followed. The BCCI threatened to pull India from the series. News, debates, and social media in both countries were obsessed. Not just with the event, but the broader implications of language and intent in global sport. Both players denied racist intent. Harbhajan's suspension was overturned, but scars lingered. Governing bodies tightened codes of conduct, umpires learned cultural sensitivity, and teams began hiring diversity officers. The IPL soon after brought Symonds and Harbhajan together as Mumbai Indians teammates, a symbol that cricket could heal, even after deep division. Monkeygate also marked the new era of instant outrage. Supporters from both countries flooded forums and comment sections. Since then, every controversial call or heated exchange is instantly global and hotly debated. Years later, both men reflected on how difficult and transformative the incident was. Symonds, mourned in Australia after his untimely death in 2022, is remembered not just for talent, but for courage in forcing tough conversations into the open.
Controversy is woven into the fabric of cricket. For every miracle, a six, a blinding catch, an impossible run chase, there is a shadow beyond the boundary. These incidents endure not because they define individuals, but because they force the sport to evolve. Hansie Cronje's confession changed how cricket polices integrity and money. Mike Denness's battle exposed the power dynamics of global cricket. Greg Chappell's underarm delivery rewrote the rulebook overnight. Michael Atherton's ordeal revealed the growing scrutiny of technology. Monkeygate made racism a conversation cricket could not avoid. Each moment is a lesson that shapes the game we love. Cricket's greatest controversies will always polarize fans and spark debate, but sometimes they inspire the change needed for the sport to move forward. Cricket survives not by purity alone, but by its capacity to reflect, adapt, and remind us that in the gentleman's game, drama is never far away. Which moment shocked you the most? What stories should we cover next? Drop us a comment, like, and subscribe for more deep dives into cricket's biggest stories. Until next time, this is Cricket Collective, bringing you the game beyond the scoreboard.